All right, men, welcome to today's episode of Strong Men, Strong Marriages, how to be the ultimate provider for your family. A lot of us, we resonate with that idea of being the provider, but usually we really think of that in terms of financial providing. And while that's important, we can miss out on some of the even more important ways to be a provider. So we're going to talk about that today, how to be the ultimate provider, get that good feeling of providing for your family. So my name is Mike Frazier, MD. I'm a psychiatrist and marriage coach, and I help high-achieving Christian men have more intimate marriages. So some wins for guys in my program, the Strong Men, Strong Marriages program. Guys are feeling peace even in the middle of the storm of their wife's emotions. So listen, like when you come in and you start actually listening to your wife, you might find that she's been holding on to a lot of things for a long time and hasn't felt safe enough to share them because you couldn't manage your emotions. So when you get better, she might unload a lot of difficult things on you. And if you're not ready for that, it can be very overwhelming. It can be very difficult. But one of the guys in the program, especially this week, did so good and was able to stay calm during that storm, be that safe place for his wife, and just create great connection through it. Super cool to see. And that comes from connecting with God and really connecting with God daily to do that. Guys are getting more hugs, more kisses, more intimacy with their wives. So fun to see. Guys are speaking up for themselves, bringing up topics that they need to bring up that maybe they haven't brought up for fear of their wife's response. Guys are learning how to handle missteps. Look, we're going to sometimes go back to our old patterns. Even when we practice the new ones and all that, under stress, sometimes we're going to go back to the old patterns. It doesn't mean we're starting all over. We learn how to handle those, how to repair, how to keep going, how to stay solid, even after those missteps, turn into more connection. Guys are setting clear boundaries for what they will and will not do and what they will and will not tolerate in marriage, which is great. Sometimes we got to do that. It's important. And for me, my wife and I are having increasing intimate conversations. Had a great conversation this afternoon, had lunch together, and just are really getting to know each other at a deeper level, which has been great. So, a lot of us have maybe heard this phrase. I grew up with this phrase, like a husband, a father, he's supposed to preside, provide, and protect. Kind of that's the threefold like mission of a man, of a father. So preside meaning like be in charge, take the lead. That's usually how we think of it. Okay, so spiritually we take the lead. We're supposed to be bringing our family to church. We're supposed to be doing scripture with them. We're supposed to be praying with them, making sure they're checking those boxes, doing those things. Financially, making sure we're in charge of the finances, running it the way that we want it. Okay. So again, like providing financially, physically, protection is a lot of times we think of it in a physical mindset. Okay, so presiding, leading, a lot of times spiritually, financially, providing. Typically, we think of physically and financially, and protection. We think almost all about physical protection. Okay, like how do I, if someone's going to attack my wife, how do I protect her? Or if someone's going to attack my kids, how do I protect them? Like I have guns in the house, a lot of you guys do. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I've learned some fighting things, and so, and that's good, right? It's good to be able to protect your family in that way, for sure. But as guys, again, we can kind of focus mainly on the physical in terms of providing, being a provider, physical provider, leader in the physical things, presiding in the physical things, protecting in the physical way. Okay, it's all important. So the problem, though, is that if we take that, okay, it's my job to preside, it's my job to lead. It's easy for us to fall into that a one-up attitude. Okay, so and just not really treat your wife like a partner. Okay, like I'm in charge of the finances. I'm not really going to listen to anything you say. I'm just going to kind of blame you for spending and, not really care about your input, about what you want or how you want to spend money. It doesn't matter. We need to have this financial plan. We need to be saving this much. We need to hit this number, right? And yeah, you can just kind of tune your wife out or get mad because she's not on board. So that's a one-up mentality. Or with spiritual things, you can think, well, I'm more spiritual than her. I'm more the leader. We're praying more. We're reading more scripture. She doesn't want to. We're going to do it anyway. And so you can just kind of leave your wife out. And eventually, she gets tired of it. So she might go along with that for a while, but eventually she doesn't want to anymore. And, this is kind of a transition my wife and I are going through right now, where that was our dynamic for most of our marriage up to the past, really a couple years, where I just kind of led the way in most things and she followed along and she was okay with that, right? And I was okay with that. But eventually women realize like, hey, I want to be more of a partner, and there's some growing pains that go along with that, right? But it's good because it's nice to have a partner. It's nice to feel like you're not the only one doing everything and that you have someone that has your back. So it feels better, but it is a transition. You have to kind of step out of that one up mentality and get into an equal partnership area. The other thing too, if you think your main job is to provide financially, you can feel entitled to other things like cooking or cleaning or sex. You're like, hey, like I'm bringing home the money. You need to do this other stuff. You need to cook. You need to clean. And anything you do in terms of cooking or cleaning or taking care of the kids, you interpret as, well, I'm doing more than my share. So you should be really grateful for that, right? I'm providing all the money for the family already. You're not providing any. And so, yeah, you should do all this other stuff. So again, that providing mentality, it can lead to this entitled feeling. Okay. Another big one, when you think your protection is just about the physical protection, I need to protect my family from outside attackers, basically. You can neglect emotional protection, which is probably even more important, mainly protecting from your own anger outbursts or protect them from a lack of connection. Okay, you need to protect them from that. They need to feel loved and supported and at home. And so does your wife. She needs to feel like this is a safe place to be. You need to provide that. You need to protect them in that way. Okay, I'm talking to myself here. I need to do that. Okay, that's our job more than anything else. That's how you become the ultimate provider. Okay, so it's not that these three words are wrong. It's just like how we interpret them can be problematic. So it's still good to preside. It's still good to lead. Like as men, I believe that we're called to lead. However, we want to be a leader with our wife, be partners, work together. Okay, so take the lead, sure. Say, hey, I want to make sure we have a plan for our finances, and then value her opinion, work with her as a partner in it. Okay, someone to, like in all relationships, someone needs to kind of initiate, be the starter. Okay, as men, that's kind of our job. Be the starter. Great. Let's take that responsibility. And let's make sure our wife feels like a partner with us in it. Okay. Also may mean sometimes she does take the lead in certain things, and that's okay too, right? Maybe like in our family, wives is way better at like packing things and like arranging where things go. And so she takes the lead, which is great. She's better at that. Can I support her? Sure. Can I make her life easier in that way? 100%. Can she also take the lead and feel like we're still partners? Absolutely. Right. So take the lead and value her opinion, both. Okay. So have a financial plan, sure, and listen to your wife's input. So I'm going through a book right now, Money for Couples by Ramit Sethi. Outstanding, really great. Talks about a lot of finance. It's emotional, right? It's the thoughts we have around money. So he digs into that. My wife and I our last date night here, we did part of that plan. So he calls it like your rich life plan. Like, what do you want your life to look like? And then how do we arrange our finances to reflect that? So a lot of the guys I talk to, they're very focused on the future and like, okay, well, how do I save this much money and how do I create passive income? But what they're not very good at is like spending money now to enjoy their lives now. It's like Jesus' parable. He's like, yeah, you store up all this grain and then you die the next day. Like that wasn't a great use of your grain, right? And so like we want to enjoy some of our money now too. And a lot of times our wives are better at that. And so, yeah, my wife and I sat down, like, okay, what does a rich life look like for us? Being able to eat out more is a rich life to us. Having someone clean the house a couple of times a month is a rich life for my wife. Just these little things, and they're going to be different person to person. The car I drive, that's a rich life to me, man. I love the car I drive. It's fast, it's quick, it can drive itself. So I love it. That's a rich life purchase for me. Okay, so yeah, like think about that rich life, and it's fun. It's fun to think about that. And then you go into the dollars and cents of like, okay, well, so what do we need to cut? His thing is like spend lavishly on the things that matter to you and then cut ruthlessly on the things that don't matter to you. That's how you live the rich life. Okay. So yeah, have a plan, but then value her input, work together. My wife said like she really loves Kelly Clarkson. So her rich life plan was part of that was going to see Kelly Clarkson live and in the front row. Great. So let's put a bank account that is for that and watch that grow. And then when it hits, man, we've got that. And she's living her rich life doing that, which is awesome. So then provide, right? So preside, yeah, take the lead and value your wife's input. Okay. So then definitely provide financially. Absolutely. And maybe more importantly, provide love. to your kids. Wish them well. Want what's good for them consistently, consistently, consistently. Provide safety, okay? Physical, but yeah, more than that, probably emotional. A lot of the guys that I'm talking to grew up in homes where that wasn't really modeled in one way or the other. Maybe mom or dad was abusive physically or emotionally. Maybe mom or dad was kind of out of control emotionally, and the kids felt like they had to take care of their parents. So they can bring that into their own homes. And this has been me, right? This has been me. This is what I'm working on. And I really don't want my kids to see that same thing and feel like they have to take care of my emotions and manage my emotions. No, I do not want that. And so I'm getting the help to help me not continue that. And it's hard, but it's good, right? And we can, I think doing that work makes me be able to help you guys better through this. So provide love, provide safety, make them feel seen, make them feel safe, make them feel soothed, heard, valued, okay? Provide that. That matters way more than whatever you're providing financially, okay? It'd be way more important for your kid to see, hey, dad loves me, he cares about me, than you buy them that video game they wanted, all right? Or you're in a nicer house than maybe they would have been. Man, look at your own upbringing. Do you remember more like the feeling at your home or like how big your house was? Okay, pretty much none of us care how big our house was. It's the feeling that we had in our house, right? How nice was my bed? How much did my parents spend on my bed? Like, who cares? We don't think about that. We care about feeling loved and safe and secure. So provide that, man. Provide that. Don't stress so much about providing financially. Okay? It's the biggest thing you can provide: love, safety, security. So to do that, you've got to be able to manage your own thoughts and emotions well, which for a lot of us is a struggle, especially if it didn't seem modeled. So we need help. We need help to learn to manage that, and we can help you do that. So provide a feeling of safety in your home with you, for your wife, for your kids. Make them feel like, man, this is the safest place on earth. With my dad, right? That's with my husband. That's how we want them to feel. Okay, really, I haven't provided that in a lot of ways for my own family. And so I'm sad about that. And I'm excited, right, to start doing that and do that in a much better way going forward here. And excited to have you join me if that is kind of, if this is kind of resonating with you, you need to come join us. Come join us in Strong Men, Strong Marriages. So finally, protect. So absolutely protect physically. Get your guns. Know how to fight. Teach your kids how to fight, right? And maybe more importantly, protect emotionally, okay? Most importantly, from your own anger outbursts or out of control anger or all of that, right? Protect them from that, right? Learn how to release that in a healthy way. Learn how to take care of that, okay? Also, protect your kids from talking poorly to each other, from talking in a mean way to each other. Going through a book right now, it says one of their big rules is no hurts. So no physically hurting each other, no emotionally hurting each other, okay? So we're implementing that in the house, and it's been really good. So we need to protect our kids, absolutely physically, very important, and emotionally. Protect them from you, protect them from each other, right? Do it in a way that's loving, correcting, okay? Very good. All right. So look, as men, we can over-focus on physically presiding, providing, and protecting. Okay. So the physical, it is important. It totally is. And the mental, emotional, and spiritual providing is even more important. Provide safety, provide security, provide trust, right? Provide love. If your kids come home and they say, man, like this is a loving home. People love me. I feel safe here. That's your win. Okay. That's what you need to provide. More than you need to provide financially, you need to provide that. A home that feels safe and loving. Totally. Okay. All right. So to do that, you have to have spiritual strength. You have to have mental and emotional strength and management. You have to have communication skills. And so you might not have any of that right now, or it might be at a pretty low level. So come join us. Come join us as we build them together. I'm not perfect in this. I'm working on the same things as you guys. These are principles and eternal principles that work, and God can help us do it, and we can help each other grow together. So come join us. Break these generational patterns. Don't continue that pattern that's going to have your kids be avoidant, think they only have to count on themselves, think that they have to manage other people's emotions because you can manage yours. Break that cycle, okay, so that they can feel safe and secure and know they've got people that care about them and protect them. Let's do it together. Come join us at strongmen.io. Join the email list. We're going to open the group program at the end of this month. So I'm excited for that. It'll be our alpha group, like the first group that's doing this together this year. And yeah, so if that calls to you, great. If you want to do something more intensive, has more one-on-one work, it's a five-figure investment for people that are, business owners, professionals, that kind of thing. There's an application for you to fill out there too. But either way, join strongman.io, join the email list. You'll get a 7-day training as well. Okay, visit strongman.io. Let's do this. Let's provide a home that our kids say, hey, I feel totally safe here. I feel totally loved here. Let's do that. All right, stay strong in God, men. We'll see you next episode.